Welcome to the Elevate and Explore podcast.
I don't know. I think, and we start the conversation off with how fast life changes. And I think lately, for the first time in my life, and I'm talking like the past 30 to 45 days, have seen what it is like to slow down life, look at it through a different lens, and enjoy the moment you're in rather than trying to chase something ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's 2026. 4 years ago, almost, we talked about starting an outdoor gear company.
Yeah.
4 years ago, I was in a completely different place in my life. And just a year ago, 2 years ago, like you go back in time and it's like, where does time go? It's almost been a month since I've been without Easton. And
Yeah.
I've had
That's
Easton for
crazy.
10 years. And there is no stopping.
No, time definitely, it is amazing how quickly it goes. Why do I have echo? Yeah, looking back 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, same. I was a completely different person, living a completely different life. And, I'm, I've been the happiest I've ever been the past 6 months, year. And just, I feel like every day just gets better. I just have a different perspective on life. I'm not chasing things. I'm not chasing money. Um, have found purpose and found intention, and now I want to build things for a bigger purpose, not just build things to get rich like I wanted to. Create impact, and I'm with an amazing woman now. Completely different to the woman I married, and I spent a lot of time alone. I spent a year and a half alone, the longest time in my life I ever went without a partner, a girlfriend, and learned a lot about myself in that year and a half. And yeah, it goes so quickly. I heard this thing a while back, like when we're kids, time just seems to drag by. Like the summers feel like a year. Like think about when you were a kid, and the summertime, you get out of school and it felt like forever. I mean, now with summer, it's 3 months. It flies by so freaking quick. Our priorities change, as we go older, and we start to experience things differently. When we were kids, we were just chasing experiences. Now, when we're kids or adults, we're chasing goals and deadlines, and got to get this done, got to do that. And I think that's the change of perspective. But since I've been changing my own life's perspective, I almost feel like I've slowed down time a little bit, not as much as when I was a kid, but I have felt a different pace as opposed to when I was drinking all the time and, just chasing the wrong things. I feel like I've slowed it down a little bit.
I completely understand. That's, for the first time in my life, I've been able to sit back and kind of slow things down. And I don't think you ever get to slow things down. I don't think you ever get to, you'll never get to hit the pause button. You never get
No.
to, pump the brakes, if you will. But looking at things in, uh, Katie, talking about having a really good woman, Katie is so good at this. She just says, I woke up today, nobody died. Today was a good day. That's
Mm-hmm.
her criteria for a good day. And it's like, how? How could you, you start, panicking almost. And then you stop and think about it and you're like, shit, yeah, she's pretty right.
Yeah.
Talk about having a good woman. The other day, wake up, she took the kids to school. She comes through the door. I'm like getting ready. I'm getting ready to go check traps. And she says, can I go with you? I was, yeah, let's go. I felt like I had 4 hours in the morning. Just spending time with her. It felt like it
Mhm.
lasted forever. It took
Yeah.
an hour to go check traps that morning. Not to mention, the highlight of the trip was not only did we catch a really pretty raccoon, but I caught a Georgia skunk, which, for anybody listening, Georgia, at least this area, North Georgia, does not have many skunks. They are few and far between. This is the first one I've ever witnessed in the wild, let alone come across anywhere. Like, never even seen one driving down the road. So the fact that we pull up and I see one in a trap, I am ecstatic. So I was like, Katie, uh, quick, do a Google search. My phone, I think my phone didn't have great service or whatever. And I was like, where do I dispatch a skunk? Because I know you're not supposed to shoot him somewhere, and I can't remember if it's the head or the behind the shoulder. And she's like, no headshots. Got it. And I threw it in the back of the truck, and like immediately she could smell it, but I can't. Like I'm immune to them. Like I don't even know what I smell like. And it caused a ruckus in this house because I skinned it last night. I put my clothes on the porch. I got it hanging up in the yard. She's like, I can't go within a half mile of this house, and that's all I
Oh my
smell.
goodness.
But it's a once in a lifetime skunk. She says I can't shoot anymore. So
And she
at least
puts up
until I
with
find,
it. She lives
at
with
least
it.
until, oh yeah, at least until I find a bigger one. But yeah, that's the value of the things like, having a good woman and listening to her word is like that helps slow things down. Is you know stop looking at things like, oh, I got my deadlines, I got to get stuff done, I got my goals, I got my list. It's like, what does your woman say? She says, slow down and stay in bed for a few minutes this morning. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it's wild being with the right person. Like this morning, a couple nights I still sleep in the van, even though she has this new place. I'm parked in the driveway. She likes her own space. I like my own space. It works out great. So we like to stay together some nights, but some nights we like to stay apart. So like last night I stayed up, got up. She's an early riser, but today she was still sleeping. I walk in and she's sound asleep, and I go jump on her. Good morning, babe, and it's like, you want to go for a walk? She's like, yeah, let's do it. And she just hops right out of bed, just throws clothes on. 5 minutes later, we're out for a walk in the 26-degree weather. And, I'm complaining. I'm like, oh, I should have worn my face mask. It's a little cold. She's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's beautiful out. I'm like, oh my goodness, I freaking love this woman. Like, normally it should be her complaining. She's pregnant. She just rolled out of bed. And here I am, the one, complaining about my face being a little cold. And I was like, you're right. It's a beautiful morning. I'm perfectly fine. And yeah, just,
Yeah.
went for our 20-minute walk and, continue. I went to work. She continued on her day, and all these just little things, having this amazing human being to just tell me, all right, cause I always thought myself as a super optimistic person, which I am, but sometimes she's like, quit complaining. It's fine. I'm like, you're right. Where I'm so used to in the past, everybody complaining about everything, and then here I am, the super optimistic one, and it's
Yeah.
cool having that different that change of pace.
Oh, it is. And again, it's all perspective. And I guess again, I think I'm on my spending time in the woods like the mountain man. That's my goal, I guess. I admire the lifestyle, and I keep working towards it. And it's very humbling. And to go quite a few weeks without catching things in traps, we're not out just to catch things in traps. We're out for a little bit of conservation, stewardship. We're out there, trying to keep in mind our resources. We're out there spending time together. And at the end of it, it's a ton of work. And to go out there day after day after day after day after day, and you're not catching anything, and then all of a sudden last week, in in my entire life, last week was one of the best weeks I had. And I think anybody who follows me on my personal social media will tell you that that's very well obvious, because I think every single day I was posting 3 videos a day, just very
Hmm.
humbled, very grateful, just very appreciative of, first off, just being able to spend time in the woods. it has nothing to do with what I'm doing, but I'm out there spending time in the woods. There I go, picking my nose again on camera. I it's the skunk smell. Um, just very humbled and appreciative of being able to spend that time outside. Then I get to spend time with Jack every minute he can. He's out there checking traps with me, redoing sets or setting new sets. While he goes to school, I have to check the line. So Jack doesn't get to see the immediate, oh, I went and checked traps and I didn't catch anything. He just gets a picture and a video of what we saw today, and he's like, "Oh, awesome! That's cool." It doesn't matter if it's one raccoon or if it's a possum or if it's just some tracks on a set. He's just ecstatic either way. And I've found this mental toughness that you have to just constantly remind yourself. First off, the sun is shining, the air is crisp. I made it out here. I'm walking, I'm moving. My body allows me to walk to check traps. You know, it's this small reminder and setback of, first off, I'm outside first thing in the morning as the sun's rising, and that's the place that's like the only place I want to be.
It's
That's
amazing,
great.
isn't it?
That's an appreciation enough.
Hmm.
And then everything that comes along with it. I mean, last week was stellar. Caught beavers, caught coyotes, caught an otter, caught raccoons, caught a skunk. I mean, it never. I mean, I guess technically this week I caught the skunk, but it kept getting better, and having the ability to do that now, there's nothing like it on earth.
Yeah. There's just something so like I love being outside any time of the day. But there's just something so magical about going out when it's still a little dark and the birds aren't really chirping yet, and there's not really much movement, and then just being out through that transition of the sun starting to rise, the world's starting to wake up, and you're like the only person outside and just surrounded by nature. That is one of my favorite things. Like I absolutely love the sunsets and the end of the day, middle of the day, but I definitely have to say that my favorite part is, being out when the sun rises, when the
Hmm.
world starts to wake up. It's absolute magic. And it just, every day that I do that, it just sets my day off so much better than if I was asleep in and you'll get up once the sun's already up and everything's moving and shaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely makes a big difference in my day when I get out to experience that magic.
Oh, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Especially
Well,
down
with
here the
all
past couple days, it's been super chilly and like we have 20-degree mornings, and it's funny because just last week we had like 75-degree mornings.
holy crap.
Oh, it was ridiculously warm last week.
Yeah, I was just saying this morning that I love the cold. I love the cold winter, but I think I'm about ready for it to start warming up now. It's getting to be that time. We got taunted with, 50-degree weather last week. It was beautiful. Now the birds are starting to finally be chirping in the morning. There for weeks they weren't because of,
Hmm.
so cold, and now it warmed up. Things are starting to move, and I can just feel that, that springtime, those warmer days are coming.
Hmm. One day at a time.
But I don't want to rush it because, like we were saying, time goes by quickly. It'll be spring, then it'll be summer, then it'll be fall, then it'll be winter again before we know it. So, enjoying the time while we have it. We're supposed to get another snowstorm, I think tomorrow and Thursday. Not sure how much, but
Hmm.
bring it. Why not?
It's just a whiff.
Yep.
Well, this was a good talk. Kind of went a little off topic from the cheeseburgers and cheesesteaks, but
Yes. For anybody wondering why we're talking about cheesesteaks and French fries and food, Ryan and I are both say we're fasting. I started my fast yesterday at 11:30. It's now 6:30. I'm gonna go till tomorrow morning, so 40 some hours I'll be at. And Ryan started today. You're going till Thursday, so there's something about fasting. When I fast, I have this. I like to torture myself, and I watched so many food videos.
I'm not
I
strong enough
like
for that.
torture myself a little bit. I don't know why, but it seems to work. It
Eh,
satiates you, you know?
it doesn't work that well because the other day it was last Monday because I did last Monday from 7 a.m. till Thursday at 7 a.m.
Mhm.
and Monday night Katie's like, "What do you guys want for dinner?" And somehow they ended up on taco bowls. Now they've got like skirt steak cooking with seasonings, and they got
Mm.
chicken and salsa and guac, and I was like, "I'm just gonna go outside. To hell with you all." Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I don't really have too much more on my mind at the moment.
nothing but a cheesesteak and chocolate milkshake.
Yeah. Thinking about my girlfriend inside eating her freaking cheesesteak and milkshake right now. Ugh.
Well, we all have struggles. If it's any more appetizing, I still have to flesh a skunk out.
Yeah. Well, the struggle is, I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, I know I'm struggling right now. I want to eat so bad, but I just know that it's serving a higher purpose. It's higher, helping my self-discipline, helping my weight loss, helping my health.
Hmm.
Um, it's all for a higher purpose, not just doing it to starve myself. That's what I got to remind myself. It's for, you know, longer term things. It's cutting off that immediate satisfaction where I could just go down so much right now just for the greater gain. That
Yeah.
short term, if I was to go end my fast right now, um, nobody would be upset with me. Nobody would judge me, but I'd be upset with myself because, this morning, on our accountability call, I said my goal for today is to make my fast go till tomorrow morning at least. So I'd only be letting myself down. Wouldn't cause any problems with the world. Sun would still rise tomorrow. Wouldn't be a major impact, but I'd be letting myself down. And I've been working really hard the past 6 months to a year. Still fails, here and there, of course. But when I tell myself I'm going to do something, I try my damnedest to do it because I used to let that go way too much. Say, I'm going to do this,
Hmm.
make all these empty promises to myself and just constantly let myself down. So that's been a huge part of improvement for me. And I think my inner joy is just the simple thing of just holding my word to myself.
Yeah. No, it definitely goes a long way. I was sitting there thinking about that today. Is like perseverance. I made it a comment on the video last week. It was just the what did I say? Preservation, conservation, and perseverance, or something like
Hmm.
that. And that was just my mantra for trapping. But um, just consistency and perseverance, and don't quit. I mean, we've been through quite a bit the past 2 months just running this trap line. We got our butts handed to us some of these days, but after all said and done, we just keep after it. It's hard to beat down a stubborn man.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you have no idea how close you are to, making the next trap.
Yeah.
You
But
can't give
that's
up. You can't
that's
stop.
that's the struggle is I can't quit there, but then there's some other things I just look at and it's like, ah, the hell with it. I don't even want to bother.
Yes. Priorities.
I know.
Uh,
All right. Well, 'twas a good call. I don't know how long
yeah.
we actually set on here. Our timer says 41 minutes, but I think we
We
started
started
10 minutes
we
early.
started roughly around like 18 or 20 minutes.
Well, if anybody still wants to join in on the accountability call, Aaron and I have consistently been doing that for a week now, minus one day, which is my own fault because I didn't have it on my calendar. So I'm holding myself accountable to make sure that we don't miss out.
Yeah. Yeah. Join it. It's like I don't know if I mentioned this in the call last week, but I had done an accountability for a few months, about 3 or 4 months ago, every day. And I'll tell you, when you have it's holding yourself accountable to yourself is one thing, but then once you have the support and you're speaking out loud your daily goal to other people, and you're being held to almost a little even higher standards yet. Um,
Mhm.
it's really easy to let yourself go and go back on your own word to yourself, but when you're have other people stating their goals and them following through, and then you're there not following through, it definitely helps. Definitely
For
helps.
sure. Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, we'll cut her off here. Thank you guys for watching if you're still watching. And yeah,
On to the next one.
yes.
All right. Thank you all. Have a great evening or day.
Bye.